Hey everyone, we're back with another video, building you guys up and giving you the best tips for a success mindset. Today I want to talk about why failure is really just data and you shouldn't think about it as defeat. The true metric of defeat is giving up. Why? Because when you give up, you are 100% guaranteeing that you will never ever succeed. It's like if you, let's say, kept trying to do something and you're trying to, let's say, get into this door and this door behind it has a success. If you just stop trying, you're guaranteeing that you're never going to be able to open that door. If you just walk away, it is guaranteed that you will never get in there because you would just stop trying. But it's like, if you try to become successful, right? And you just keep going and going and going again, like this may be a very hard thing to understand, but the fact that many successful people have said this exact same thing really, I think, brings it to light as to how important it is. If you give up, you fail forever, right? Your failure will be pretty much eternal because that is the last thing that you did. But if you take that failure as a lesson and you try again, you give yourself another chance. And then you try again and you give yourself another chance. But it's not just the same chance. It's a better chance because now you have knowledge from that failure. And that's why it's really just data. It's like if you wanted a machine to be good, you need to train it well, right? You need to give it the good data, good information. Why don't we treat ourselves like that? If you fail in the very beginning, you should realize, oh, it's because I don't know anything, right? This is my first time doing it. You shouldn't expect to get something right on your first time, or even the 5th time, or even the 10th time. You should try as hard as possible to do well and do as well as you can. But when you fail, you shouldn't put the burden on yourself and you shouldn't have this expectation that everything should go well the first time. You should really humble yourself and just be like, if this goes well the 100th time, I'll be happy, right? And what will happen? It'll probably go right maybe the 15th time, but it's like you need to have that way of thinking because if you just are so afraid of failure, you're just going to permanently give up. And I guarantee you, when you give up, you're not going to become successful because you stop trying. There is no way for you to become successful if you just literally don't try, right? It's not like some magic fairy is going to come in and just be like, oh, here you go. I feel bad for you. No, when you give up, you permanently have just said, I'm done. So our options right now is to give up and permanently just ensure that I will never be successful, or keep fighting for that 1 to 2% chance and keep putting in more work, failing more to increase my odds and gain more experience, and just over time keep trying to improve myself and build myself up to a point where eventually that percent of success maybe goes up to 30% or 40% or 50% because you have so much experience, you have so much failures, you've learned so much already, and you've developed yourself as a person to where it's becoming easier and easier to actually become successful. But that comes from years and years of hard work. So this is obviously not an easy choice, right? Because you're talking about on the one side, yeah, I won't be super successful, but I could probably live like a very average life, which is fine to me, some people, And then you have on the other side, a bunch of just failure, a bunch of pain, a bunch of suffering, a bunch of stuff you have to just go through, questioning yourself. And just for what? Like a 1% chance? Like, come on. But you have to think like this. Like, what if it happens? Like, this is a very dangerous way to think because sometimes you'll just like daydream all the time, which is not what I'm like telling you guys to do. You still need to work and focus on the work. But when you're really down, just think about it. Like, what if it does actually happen though? And like, what will your reality really be like if it does happen? And I think often that is enough to make you realize that actually I would take this bet every time. I would always go and just take and fight for that 1%, 2% and fail and fail and fail again and eventually get to that 30%, 40% and just keep failing my way to success. Because for me, it's not even an option. And that's really where you need to go. If for you it's still an option, I mean, that's fine. Just like, don't keep watching my videos and stuff. But like if it's not an option, then why do you give yourself that choice? Then now if you're going all in, you need to commit all in. You cannot be giving yourself the option of like, oh, I can just, not do this little task. No, because there is no halfway point between these two choices. It is either you are all in and you're not going to quit until you win, or you're going to give up now and walk away. Once you realize that you don't actually have a choice, you're going to go all in because you understand that's like how the game works. When there was like a general and there was like a battlefield and this is like some island, he wanted to make sure that his soldiers won the battle. And how did he do that? He did that by burning the boats back so that retreat was not an option. The soldiers were either going to die there or they were going to win. And when when that change happens between, oh, maybe we can win, to we have to win, so much in your brain changes. The way you act changes. The way you carry yourself changes. The way you work changes. And that's something you need to emulate. That's why you need to go all in. It's not about like taking the risk really, just going all in puts you in a different state of mind to where you don't have these options, you know what you're signing up for, and you just take your medicine pretty much, you take that failure, you take the pain, but then you know that in the long term, you're gonna grow from this and you're gonna learn so much. If you guys have any questions, put them down in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe and follow for more.